All I'm explaining the chapter The Portrait of a Lady. It is written by Khushwant Singh. I have given text on the screen also. You can read it, you can listen it also so that all topics, complete chapter will be clear. Okay? Now I am going through the explanation. In the portrait of a lady, Khushwant Singh has given an account of his grandmother. He draws a lifelike portrait. She was very old. Her face was wrinkled. Her hair was white. It was hard to believe that once she had been young and pretty. That means it is very clear when his grandmother was young, then she was young and pretty. That means so cute. His grandmother's picture hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban. His clothes were loose. He looked at least 100 years old. It was hard to believe that he had once a wife or children. Now, Khushwant Singh's grandmother was a short lady. In height, she was short. She was fat and slightly bent. Slightly bent means whenever was moving, walking, then bent. She couldn't walk straight. She hobbled about the house. She had to keep one hand on her waist. It was to balance her stool. In the other, she held a rosary. She was always telling the beads. Her lips constantly moved in prayer. That means whenever she was sitting anywhere, then her lips moved in prayer. Something, something, Ram Ram, otherwise maybe different. I can't say which type of prayer used, but she was involved in prayer. God. She put on white clothes, her silver locks scattered over her pale face. She looked like snowy mountains in winter. She was a picture of peace and contentment. She was very old. Perhaps she could not have looked older. She looked the same for the last 20 years. Yes, no, also, Khushwant Singh and his grandmother were good friends. That was very close. His parents went to city. Khushwant Singh parents went to city. They left him with her in the village. She took good care of him. She used to wake up in the morning. She got him ready for the school. She said her morning prayer in sing-song manner. See, that means Khushwant Singh's grandmother. Everything done by his grandmother. She hoped that he would learn it by heart, so that every time sing-song manner, morning prayer told by his grandmother. He liked her voice, but never bothered to learn it. Then she would fetch his wooden slate. Sorry, she would fetch his wooden slate. Wooden slate means that time a slate was used to write in the earlier time. It was made by wood. She had already washed it and plastered it with yellow chalk. She would take a thin ink pot and a red pen. She would tie them in a bundle and hand it to him. She would give him a thick settle chapati with little butter and sugar spread on it. That means here is saying about chapati, butter and sugar mixed by his grandmother and given to Khushwant Singh. It was his breakfast. She carried several steel chapatis with her for the village dogs. His grandmother always went to school with him. The school was attached to the temple. The priest taught children the alphabet and the morning prayer. The children sat in the two rows in the veranda. They would sing the alphabet or the prayer in the chorus. The grandmother sat inside the temple. She would read holy books. Then they would walk home together. That means when school was over, then both Khushwant Singh and his grandmother came back home. The village dogs would gather at the temple door. They threw chapatis to them. The dogs would growl and fight with each other. It is very simple. When chapatis and an eaten thing given by anyone, if there are many dogs, then obviously they will fight with each other. The narrator's parents sent for them in the city. It was a turning point in their friendship. They shared the same room, but grandmother no longer went to school with him. The narrator used to go to an English school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the streets, so grandmother took to feeding the sparrows. Yes, because no grandmother has no any option. Yes, years rolled by. They, they saw less of each other. Sometimes she would ask him what the teacher had taught him. She didn't believe in the things they taught at the English school. She was unhappy. She didn't like English or science. She felt sad that there was no teaching about God and the scripture at school. The narrator one day told her that they were being given music lessons. She was disturbed. She thought music quite indecent. For her, it was good only for prostitutes and beggars. It was not meant for gentle folk. The native went to university. He was given a room of his own. The common link of friendship was broken. The grandmother accepted her loneliness quietly. She was always busy with her spinning wheel and reciting prayer because she was habituated. She rarely talked to anyone. In the afternoon, she relaxed for a while, then she would feed the sparrow. She sat in the veranda. She broke the bread into little bits because sparrow is a name of bird. Then she would throw them to the sparrows. That means there were many birds. Then sparrows were there. So she threw. Hundreds of sparrows came there. Hundreds of sparrows came there. They created a hail of noise. Some came and sat on her legs. Others would sit on her shoulders. Some would sit even on her head. She smiled but never frightened them away. Feeding the sparrow was the happiest half hour of the day for her. The latter decided to go abroad for higher studies. He was to remain away for 5 years. The grandmother was very old. She could die any moment because age was too much more. The native was worried, but the grandmother was not upset. She showed no emotion. She came to the railway station to see him off. Her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beats of her rosary. She kissed his forehead silently. The narrator thought that it was the last sign of physical contact between them. You have to keep in your mind the point when his grandmother came to live on the railway station. Then the narrator thought that it was the last sign of physical contact between them. Maybe his grandmother was no longer. No, the narrator turned home after 5 years. That means after completing the education, again narrator Khushwant Singh came back home. His grandmother met him At the station, she did not look a day older. She did not speak anything. She held him in her arms. She went on reciting her prayers. That means before, like, that means whatever done by his grandmother before that time, again she is doing same. In the afternoon, she fed the sparrow as usual. In the evening, a change came over her. She didn't pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood. She got an old drum. She continued thumping the old drum for several hours. She started singing. She sang of the homecoming of warriors. They had to persuade her to stop. She might overstrain herself. It was for the first time that she had forgotten to pray. The next morning, she fell ill. What happened now? When narrator came back home, then the next morning she fell ill. She had a mild fever. She told them that her end was near. She told clearly to Kushman Singh that her end was near. She realized that she had forgotten to pray. She didn't want to talk. It would be waste of time. She ignored their requests. She lay peacefully in bed. She was praying and telling beads. Then her lips stopped moving. The rosary fell down from her lifeless finger because now his grandmother is no life. Her face looked pale but peaceful. She was dead. She was laid on the ground. She was covered with a red shawl. Arrangements for her funeral were being made. That means it is very clear when Khushmat Singh was with his grandmother, when he left home and went to other city to get education and again came back after 5 years, then she was also very well, and now suddenly she was not with him. It was evening, the sun was setting. They bought a wooden statue. They stopped halfway in the courtyard. That means neighborhood. Thousands of sparrows sat near her dead body. They didn't cheer up. Everyone felt sorry for the birds because birds got something by his grandmother. No, his grandmother is no. Then how birds will get something from her? The narrator's mother brought some bread. She broke it into little crumbs. She threw these crumbs to the sparrow. The birds took no notice of them. Yes, when his grandmother threw, then all birds took. But no, when his mother threw, then no anyone noticed of them. Then they carried her dead body outside. The sparrow flew away quietly. The crumbs of bread still remained lying there in the courtyard. Evidently, the sparrows had come to mourn the death of the grandmother. Yes, it is fact. If you love anyone, if you respect anyone, then after some times when same person he or she is not present, not alive, then other having also pain. Maybe human being, maybe animals, maybe birds. Thank you. Thank you